excuse us for a second. Thank you both. Hi, Joe. How are you, buddy?
Can I move it?
Thanks for the weather. You in charge of weather?
Good morning. I'm Xiomara Peña. I have been working at the Kids Palace for 6 years, and it holds a very special place in my heart. Not only because I'm a part of the team, but also as a parent. My son Ethan, who is now 7, started attending here when he was just 2.5 years old. During his time at the Kids Palace, my son gained the confidence and knowledge he needed to be ready for kindergarten. The support environment made his transition to the school much easier. This is one of the reasons why having a space where children can thrive and teachers can build a strong community is so essential. It is also why this grant we receive is so significant for us. The grant our center has received in particular important because it allows us to continue providing the same family-oriented care to our community. With this support, we will be able to expand our infant and toddler care space, addressing to the growing need for the high-quality, affordable child care for working parents. Once the new space is ready, we will be able to serve more families and create even better learning environments. This expansion is crucial as many families, including some of our own with younger siblings, are in need of infant care that we currently can't provide. We receive at least 10 calls a week for parents asking for infant care, and now we will finally be able to meet that demand. Working at the Kids Palace is truly special to me. One of the best parts is a strong sense of the community, not just among family, but also among for the staff. We support each other like a family, and we treat all the children as they were our own. Even after the children graduate, many families stay connected with us. During the holidays, parents often come back to visit and bring in gifts, which really show how connected we all are. Our commitment will always be to provide the best quality child care services for our community, and we are grateful that our state leaders in the Murphy's Way administration share our commitment to supporting children and families all across New Jersey. Thank you for being here and supporting our community and our center. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That was really impressive.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody, let's hear it one more time for Xiomara. Christian, do you mind helping out with the props back here so we can look the part as well? Good morning, everybody. Talk about a day the Lord made. Good Lord. It's hard to believe this is, LaMonica and I were making the comment that it's hard to believe this is late October. But again, Xiomara, thank you so much for your kicking things off this morning. You were perfect. I want to thank you as well as your colleagues, especially Joy and Rufus. I'm not sure where they went. Oh, they're right in front of me. Who are husband and wife and co-owners of Kids Palace 2. By the way, in case you're wondering, there's a Kids Palace 1 in Kenilworth, and you're hoping, I think, there'll be a Kids Palace 3 or more in the years ahead. So thank you all for hosting us so graciously this morning. And as Tamara said, we're coming together today to celebrate a major victory in our mission to make New Jersey the best place anywhere in America to raise a family. As of this morning, and with the support of all the leaders with me, and I'll give them a shout out in a moment, our administration has officially invested more than $1 billion into expanding access to high-quality, affordable child care all across New Jersey. There is no state in America that can make that statement. Over $1 billion, with a B, dollars. In the past few years, this funding has allowed facilities just like this one to provide care to more of our state's children, and by doing so, help more of our state's working families save money at the end of the month. Now, today, this is like a Ginsu knife commercial. Hold on. Today, I'm also thrilled to announce that we're building upon these investments once again by providing more than $17 million in brand new funding through the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, more on them in a moment, to support child care facilities up and down the state. And with this latest round of funding, the EDA has now been able to fully fund every single eligible application that has been submitted through the New Jersey Child Care Facilities Improvement Program, a name that rolls off the tongue. That means now that there are more than 600 child care facilities across New Jersey, just like this one, that are receiving state funding to provide the best possible care for our children. Now, before I go any further, I want to thank some of the leaders who have championed these investments into supporting our state's families and children from the very beginning, starting with our partners at the federal level. And we are joined today by one of those partners, who also happens to be New Jersey's newest representative in the United States Congress. Let's hear it for Congresswoman LaMonica McIver. Off to an incredible start. I also want to shout out in absentia to our partners in the Biden-Harris administration who have provided record-high federal funding to expand access to child care, health care, and other critical resources for our families right here in the Garden State. And let me thank as well all of the organizations and advocates outside of government who work every day to care for and improve the lives of our children. Some of them are represented here today, but there are many more working on the ground in our communities, and as always, we are extremely grateful to them. We are in the county of Essex, and nobody does it better than Essex. Very grateful to my dear friend, County Executive Joe DiVincenzo. Joe, thank you for everything you do. Chief of Staff Phil Elijah with you today, and your team is as good as it gets for your leadership, period, as well as for what you do, especially for working families. Legislative District 27 is in the House in a big way. Shout out to former West Orange Mayor and dear friend John McKeon and his colleagues in the Assembly, Alex and Colatzos Gill and Rosie Bagoli. Mayor Susan McCartney, Mayor, thank you so much to you and Council for so graciously hosting us this morning. And I also wanted, to your right, Susan, recognize the team from the Economic Development Authority. Chief Executive Officer Tim Sullivan, as well as colleague Chief Economic Security Officer Tara Colton, and along with their entire team. And we're going to hear from Tara, I think, and not Tim. Is that right? That is correct. And they have been absolutely essential to upgrading and expanding child care facilities across New Jersey. I would say when we walk out of here a year from January, and I promise you we'll run through the tape, one of the lasting legacies of the Economic Development Authority under Tim's leadership and Tara's work is going to be child care. Not just as some nice do-good thing for precious little kids, which it is, but it is a cold-blooded economic development strategy. This is the way you get moms and dads back into the workforce, giving them the peace of mind. We just toured a few minutes ago that their children, their blessed children, are going to be in a safe, uplifting environment just like this one. So this is not just doing good, which it is. This is cold-blooded, and I give Tim and Tara a big shout-out for that. And I have to say, to that point, their Child Care Facilities Improvement Program, along with grants, by the way, also from the Department of Human Services. Sarah Edelman, its great commissioner, is with us. Sarah, thank you for being here. They've invested more than $200,000 into this facility, Kids Palace 2. We just had, as I mentioned, a great tour, and Sumara and her colleagues, she wasn't on the tour, Joy and Rufus started the tour, but the colleagues allowed me to see for myself the progress that this new funding has been able to do. Sumara mentioned that they're about to be able to allow infants to come here from 0 up. And two of the things that the state's money has allowed them to do, which they needed to do, was one, they needed the entire place with sprinkler systems, which was done. And Rufus was very careful with me on stairs. They needed a second exit, and this beautiful staircase is, in fact, that exit, and they will be able to meaningfully expand space and capacity. You take care of 30 now, is that right? And that's going to go up by a meaningful amount. And what you need one more sign-off from us, I'm told, which you will get. And by the way, as Susan knows, this facility serves families in West Orange, but you all mentioned to me East Orange, Orange, Montclair, Livingston kids come here as well. So this is a real county, Joe, this is a real county place. So it's more safe, it's more secure, it's bigger. What is more important than ensuring the safety and well-being of our kids? I think we'd all argue nothing is more important. And I think it's one of the most important investments we can possibly make as a state and as a society. And we know that this is an investment that is especially important for working families struggling to get by. Because sadly, today in New Jersey, families that pay for child care are spending on average nearly 1/5 of their total income on this essential resource. And there are tens of thousands of more families who simply cannot afford the cost to begin with. So that means families are being priced out of the opportunity to best support the healthy development of their children at a crucial stage in life, and that is, I think we'd all agree, unacceptable. And it's exactly why, as I mentioned, one of our highest priorities has been supporting the growth and development of New Jersey's children at every stage of life, not just for child care, but from infancy right up to adulthood. So to that point, in addition to providing historic funding for facilities like this, we have also taken significant steps toward making free universal pre-K a reality in New Jersey, including right here, I might add, in West Orange. Under our watch, I think something like 16,000 more of our kids have been able to enroll in new pre-K programs. Just last week, in fact, we announced $20 million more toward expanding pre-K. And we go beyond pre-K. With each budget, as John and his colleagues know, we've enacted since 2018. We have drastically increased funding for New Jersey's best-in-the-nation public education system. With our most recent budget, we have finally, first administration ever, to fully fund New Jersey's school funding formula. And once you get out of high school, we have put a lot of resources and money into lowering the cost of a college education by providing tuition assistance to tens of thousands of young neighbors. So altogether, when you add up child care, pre-K, K through 12, college, not to mention workforce development, apprenticeship programs, etc., we're building a New Jersey that lifts up every single one of our children at every stage of their development, from the cradle to the classroom, all the way to the college campus. Because if we want to live up to our reputation as the state of opportunity or the best state in America to raise a family, we need to ensure that every one of our children can access the resources they need to grow and thrive regardless of their family's economic status. Yesterday, Wallet Hub just named us top 3 state in America to live, period, along with Massachusetts and kind of surprisingly Florida. No offense to Florida, by the way, but Massachusetts I get, but so all of these investments, including the more than $17 million that I announced today, will do just that. We are a state that invests in the success of our families, especially those living in communities that, historically speaking, have been overlooked and under-supported. And we're a state that believes that every child deserves the freedom to grow up and reach their full potential, that every working parent should be able to make their own decisions, and balancing the demands of a career with those of raising a child. And above all, we are a state that believes when our children succeed, our entire society succeeds right alongside them. So again, I want to thank all of our partners here with us for working to ensure that every family in the Garden State can access the best possible child care, both conveniently and affordably. I want to thank the team here at Kids Palace, too, for hosting us so graciously. And with that, I'd like to turn the podium over to Congresswoman LaMonica McIver.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Governor. Good morning, everyone. I first want to thank the wonderful hosts and owners, Joy and Rufus, and the governor for inviting me today and taking us on a great tour. I always say young people really lift your spirit, especially in this work that we do each and every day. They gave me enough for the week. Now I got to get to another place next week to get some more joy, but they're just so joyful and excited in there, and that's really what it's about the work that we do here. Governor, to you, to your leadership and your recognition of the vital role child care plays in New Jersey's economy are clearly reflected in this vibrant center. I always laugh every time I see Tim. I say to Tim, ching ching, because I do, because we were just together a couple of weeks ago at NJPAC, and I said the same thing. So every time I see you, Tim, I'm going to be going like this and saying ching ching. Thank you for everything that you and your team have done across the state, but specifically in Essex County. We really appreciate it. All of the titles I hold, being a mom is by far the most important one to me. I know I would not be here today without having access to safe, high-quality care for my daughter that enabled me to run to work each and every day, to advance my career. Every family deserves that kind of access to the same safe, affordable, and reliable child care. I was talking about how expensive it was, though, earlier with Joy and Rufus, and I could not wait for pre-K 3 and 4 to be able to get a break from paying a bill for child care that was more than my monthly mortgage. It really is truly a problem for many New Jersey families and across this nation, but I'm happy and proud that here in New Jersey we're doing something about it. Child care has always been a vital issue, but the pandemic really brought out the significance into the sharp focus. The Murphy administration quick and can't even talk. The Murphy administration quickly invested federal dollars in this sector, as seen here at Kids Palace 2. It was crucial in maintaining high quality care for countless families. The governor's support for child care providers, staff, and families subsides what historic and commendable, and I believe it plays a major role in New Jersey's swift recovery from the pandemic. The additional $17 million in federal funding announced today will support further investment in expanding child care facilities and increasing capacity, which the governor talked about an infant room coming here and pre-K 3 and 4 coming here as well, and the expansion to another city. So really excited about that. With many child care providers never reopening their doors after the pandemic was a problem. Boosting this capacity is essential to meet the needs of working families. This is important progress, but we must remain committed to lowering the cost for families and investing in a staff and providers who support for them. So I pledge to do my part in Congress, even 3.5 weeks into the job. Definitely, I'm looking to do more and be more for our families here in New Jersey. I do want to take the moment to just thank Congressman Donald Payne Jr. and all of the work that he put in for me being here today to be able to talk about this federal funding and all the work that he's put in over the past, his family and him over the past years of the crucial work to helping, progress our New Jersey families. So thank you all for having me.
I'd say maybe 3.5 weeks, but you're a veteran. You're a pro down there, LaMonica. Thank you so much. And the feds have helped, as I mentioned up front, in a big way. And I know with your presence there, you'll continue on Don's great tradition of doing just that. A couple more folks we want to hear from. And I mentioned her earlier. Tara Colton is the Chief Economic Security Officer at the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. An appropriate title, accurate title, but in a more sort of simple way, if you want to think about the bridges that we've been able to build, particularly pandemic and post-pandemic, and bridges building meaning how can I afford, as LaMonica said, childcare for my kids so mom and dad can both work, or I'm food insecure, and on the other hand, I'm a restaurant that has no business. How can we marry those two and be a matchmaker? At the center of all of the above has been Tara Colton. Tara, come on down. Again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I first want to just express our gratitude for the amazing leadership of the governor, the First Lady, our legislative partners, our federal delegation, our amazing sister agency partners, Commissioner Edelman, Department of Human Services, Department of Children and Families, and Department of Labor, and for the steadfast commitment from EDA's CEO and dad, Tim Sullivan, father of 2 young children, as he often points out, and the entire leadership team. I have the privilege of helping to lead this program along with EDA's extraordinary Director of Childcare, Alex Himmel, who is here today.
Alex, stand up and take a bow.
Alex is a former early childhood teacher, a former director of a child care center, and she always says that one of her motivations is imagining the kids squealing with excitement when they see their new schools. The fact that the state's Economic Development Agency has a dedicated team focused on childcare proves that we really see childcare as perhaps cold-blooded economic infrastructure. Now that we've been running this program for a couple years, we are on track to approve 600 plus centers with over $140 million in funding. I just wanted to share a couple takeaways about what we've learned about why improving childcare facilities is a smart economic investment. So when we provide a grant to replace windows that haven't opened in decades, or repair roofs that let water in when it rains, or turn empty lots into magical and safe playgrounds, our funds are having multiple effects. First, we're creating healthier, safer, higher quality environments at over 600 centers where more than 51,000 New Jersey children spend most of their waking and napping hours. Whether it's exploring on a new playground or learning to wash their hands at a teeny tiny sink that is now their actual height, we are creating environments that every New Jersey child deserves. We're also giving families more opportunities for high quality care in their own communities, something that the Congresswoman and Ziamara spoke so much about. As a mother of 2 whose kids both started in childcare when they were 3 months old so I could go back to work, I know how important it is to find care where you feel comfortable about where your babies will be spending their days. Driven by Majority Leader Ruiz's Thriving by 3 initiative, as the governor mentioned, we're helping to expand capacity for infants and toddlers. Just like what we heard about today, we expect as a result of EDA's funds, more than 3,000 infant and toddler seats will be added to New Jersey's system at more than 200 centers across the state. That's money very well spent. These grants are also helping providers hire and retain staff. Ziamara couldn't be a better example of that because these educators are the heart of their business. And the centers we're funding employ 13,000 of them across the state. When you can reliably take the kids outside for fresh air, or you don't have to worry about cracks in the floor when you're dealing with babies, the funding that we're providing means you can just focus on your vital work, which is nurturing and teaching these little ones. For the business owners, this funding is transformative for their economic future. Like Ziamara said, it's helping them enroll more students, or many we've heard, it makes them more viable to prospective families. A center can have the most wonderful teachers in the world, but we know that many families may choose not to enroll because of curb appeal, or they might not feel it's safe once they go inside. Our grants are changing that. And lastly, we're also helping providers save money that they can put back in their business. When you're not patching a roof over and over again, or paying high heating bills because of drafty windows, it can help you reduce costs for families and raise wages for staff. And all of this work is being done by more than 300 New Jersey Department of Labor registered public works contractors, paying prevailing wage and supporting those workers and their families as well. So on behalf of the whole team at the EDA, thank you for your support to make New Jersey a national leader in investing in all of our families. Thank you. Thank you, Governor.
Tara and Alex, you guys, I suspect not only are we the only state to have invested over $1 billion over the past 7 years in child care, I'll bet you we're the only state that has a dedicated team that does nothing but this. And again, that speaks both to the soft side and the cold-blooded side. as to how important we all collectively think this is. Great work by you both and your team. Last but not least, I say this frequently, I wish New Jersey could run like Essex County runs. With that, please help me welcome the great County Executive Joe D. Love you, buddy.
First of all, I never met you first. I want Joy and Rufus, congratulations. This is your second. You're looking for your third, fourth, and fifth. Well, stay close to Tim Sullivan and to Governor Murphy, and you can make sure that happens. And to the staff here at Kids Palace, I just want to congratulate you and thank you for what you do each and day educating our young people. Tim, if it wasn't for EDA, I don't know where we would be. I mean, they touch every part of the state, and they do such great work. So I want to congratulate you, your commissioners, your staff, and my chief, Phil Elijah, who also sits on the board. You know, but, you know, the governor said about $1 billion for preschool. I've been county exec for the last 6 terms, 24 years. I've seen governors come and go. Governor Murphy, what he has done when it comes towards education, as far as increasing the funds and making education what it is today better, this was one of his priorities. I remember when he was running for election, what he wanted to do. And everything that he said he wanted to do when it came to education, I said, you've done, and you've done more. I could just tell you within the county, besides this today and all the preschools that you help, the elementaries, the high schools, the colleges, you know, in the last 7 years, we were able to build 3 brand new schools, $240 million. We have a new West Corwell vocational school, Donald Payne School in Newark, and also Newark Tech. And then besides that, another $30 million came to build that beautiful West Essex campus of Essex County College. You have been a great friend to not only Essex County, but the entire state of New Jersey. And I just want to congratulate you and your entire staff, because this is the future, especially dealing with the young people and making sure they have a chance to go on. So congratulations, Governor. I just want to thank you with all your hard work that you have done, and your team. This would not be possible. And you have great senators and assembly people that help you. LaMonica, Donald Payne was able to get some dollars through federal government. Now, I would like to see the same thing from you. I will be at your doorstep. Just don't come to my doorstep, because I have no money. Thank you.
Joe, thank you, and thanks for your very kind words. And again, you're an incredible partner to work with. And I should have mentioned that Phil is on the EDA board, and we just celebrated the EDA's 50th birthday last week, which is pretty cool, and incredibly proud to be associated with the team, with Sarah and her team. Again, I want to acknowledge Rufus and Joy for hosting us, Shumara for great introduction and great work. Susan, thank you for hosting us so graciously always. Team 27, love you all. Deep, deep thanks to everybody here. It's been an incredible honor. This is, LaMonica said this, if you want to, you know, we all have crazy lives, but if you want to sort of inject a quick dose of joy in your day, walk inside a building like this, and I guarantee you it'll happen. Thank you all.